All right, No Sleeves McGee here for episode number 4 of this Wiseguys video diary. I'm like a day late. You know, things happen, and I wasn't really sure what to talk about. Um, so, writing's going quite well. The past week or two, it's going at a brisk pace, I would say. A pace I find acceptable considering my work schedule and all that. I added a good 10 pages the last week, so over a page a day, which is pretty good. Probably good 20 pages the last 2 weeks. So like I said, I'm very happy with that. Right now, minutes ago I just completed what I wanted the player the character creation section completed. My goal is to have people playtesting this. So far, it's been only with pre-gens, which serves its purpose right now. But I want the character creation part to be playtested. So yeah, at least I've got that got that done. Setting rules still needs some work. I've got all the setting rules I want, but it just needs more detail. Some of them I only have an outline, a little bit more than an outline, but still want more. I've had a little bit of feedback. Someone telling me that I shouldn't try to keep the word count down, the page count down. And yeah, valid point. Like I said before, my main concern here is the production costs, because more pages, more expensive it is, and the more expensive the book is. But that person has a really good point in saying that if it's a toolkit, you want as many tools as you possibly can. So right now I'm looking at bringing back some of the tools that I had moved to a different file, move them back to give more options, probably put them under the optional setting rules part, because I already have a couple of those right now. So that's what I'm looking at. Most of the work I've done for the past 2 weeks have been with new personalities for the setting, new locations, organization. Been working on the Gazetteer quite a bit, my own version of Las Vegas, so to speak. The different neighborhoods and locations within that neighborhood. So it's been a good 10 pages just of that, and I can see a lot more coming. For a while I was kind of stuck with those. That's something, if you're writing, you probably, they say writer's block. Well, working on this setting, what I found is that, well, not that I've actually written a whole book, novel or anything, but when you write these, usually, you start with the beginning, and then you ideally, in my head anyway, you would follow where you left off. But when you write a setting like this, you've got different chapters, different bits and pieces that you can work on. When there were times, like I said, I'd write a lot about the setting rules and edges, because that's what inspired me. That's my head was bursting at the seam with ideas, so that came in easy. Now this is basically all done for the most part, you know, maybe 95%. The rest, well, you never know. Maybe at some point I'll start, I have a bunch of ideas and I'll want to work on that. But the closer I get to the end, the more I find there are parts where they're not as fun to work on as others. So this becomes a grind. And then you have writer's block, and what you write seems bland and not interesting enough. So if that happens to you, well, like I said, first thing, probably just work on a different part of your setting. Do that first, and then even if you're writing this alone, I would imagine you have friends or other gamer friends at least that you can talk to, you can brainstorm with. Like I said, a lot of it for when it comes to the rules with Richard. Hey Richard, I'm trying to work on this setting rule. I want to the characters to be able to make money out of their criminal activities, but more like a downtime type of thing, right? I want something simple. I was thinking something with cards and whatnot, and so I asked him, what do you think? And he just lit a fire under me, basically. Well, as the whole outline, pretty much. I just have to, that's one of the setting rules that I have to work on the details of right now. So there's that. And then Mornay, partner at Just Insert Imagination, Mr. Boss. I've been like I said, the locations, personalities, and all that. And just the other day, I asked him, hey, I've got this NPC. She's a real estate agent. What could she be doing, underground? Some of her illegitimate business. And he said, well, provide safe houses. Just like that. Perfect. So, it's not a bad thing to ask people. Just ask questions. Before, I've asked the community at large, I asked them questions, even polls. Quick tip, if you're doing a poll, I have more than 2 choices. I have at least 3. The reason being, if you only have 2, what I found out every time I made a poll like that, is that the results were basically 50-50. So it doesn't really help you, right? I ask if the book should have the 2 campaign frames that I talked about in a previous episode, or not, and it was 50-50, so it doesn't help me at all. Maybe if I had 3 choices, then it'd be clearer. So yeah, writer's block like that, just brainstorming with your buddies. Keep trying. I mean, it doesn't mean they'll have to do the work for you. They're just gonna say something that might just spark you. Sometimes you're so involved in what you're doing that you can't just take a step back and reassess the situation, have a better view of it. So that's about all I wanted to talk about today, I think. The demo kit's still going strong. Mornay is still doing illustrations for that, and we're waiting on the text back from the edits, and then we should be almost done. So just let me know. Take care, and remember, no sleeves, no gain.